you know, Luke is from down here.
Yeah.
The craziest thing ever is seeing Luke put the dancers on the S1W stands.
Oh my God.
Wait, come on, what? Luke had the dance. He had.
First of all,
because Luke been twerking since back then.
First of all,
So Luke Skywalker. That's Luke Skywalker.
First of all, big up to my bro, Luther Campbell.
Not him twerking. You know what I'm trying to say.
Luther Campbell. Let me tell you, Luther Campbell was the first. I only stayed at two.
He had the chicks twerking on the security.
Before we get to that story, bring me back to that story.
Okay, chicks twerking on the
Luther
security.
Campbell is the first celebrity house I ever stayed in my life. Down here in Miami.
Is this in your groupie days?
This was in 1990. It was, you know, that was.
You finger pop something.
That was more like, no. That was more like Luke's commander groupie days. All right. So anyway,
I'm into this.
So listen. All right. So Luke, I was doing this DVD with him, right?
Luke's DVD?
I've seen some Luke DVD.
Before y'all twisted another way.
No, because Luke had the Luke's party.
He was caught up in a political scale on America's Most Wanted. So we was part of America's Most Wanted of censorship.
Wait a minute. No, I didn't know America's Most Wanted.
Yeah, because remember,
on the show,
the law had, you know, the law down here in Dade County had Luke up against the wall for censorship.
Yep.
Yeah, but I didn't know he was criminal.
So yeah, man.
Yeah, he did the song bad.
Really, like take your ass to jail.
Yeah, it was just simple.
No. In the South, you go to jail.
Luke moved so much music and cultural weight in the South. People like to say, "Oh man, Luke is booty," and that's it. No, Luke.
No, he did a lot.
Commanded the record industry because nobody wanted the South. Nobody wanted the South. It was like that bumpy ass. Keep that over there. Luke was the first celebrity house I ever stayed in because I did the thing that night and I was like, I'll go to the hotel. No, Luke said, stay at my house, you know, and the white woman comes out with tea and shit like that. I was like, what the fuck, you know?
That's how I imagine Luke house to be.
Imagine, like, I'm looking around, it was like damn near like British, right? On golf course, you know what I'm saying? I was like,
a butler and shit.
Butler, golf course. I was like, what the fuck, right? But, you know, Luke was the first people we met down here down the street, right? At James L.
Knight Center.
James L. Knight Center, right? And he was upset about, like, man, listen, I'm doing all this stuff down here, and New York don't notice us at all. And me and Daddy O would be people like, come on in, because the Def Jam thing didn't leave you passes. And then the thing about Luke, I said, he's also the first private jet we ever been on.
Goddamn, make some noise for Luke.
Listen what I tell you. He ran pirate radio stations out of suitcases on top of roofs down here in Miami.
Yeah, that was the thing.
Let me tell you.
You knew this?
The pirate stations, yeah.
Suitcases?
Listen.
I didn't know about a suitcase.
Luke promoted us in a stadium full of 50,000 with the old Miami Stadium with the Hurricanes and all the players. The old Miami Stadium. Right. 50,000 heads up in there, right? We got to play a show the same night at the Omni in Atlanta. Luke says, listen, man, you'll fly my private jet up there. I go up to the jet. I'm like, what the fuck, right? And it got the same logo that's on the record company, on the record label.
With the leg?
Yeah, I had to touch the plane like this. I touched it and roughed the plane. I was like, what? And we flew to Atlanta and headlined that same night at the Omni. They used to call it Omni back in the day. And we did 2 gigs in one day. Right. And courtesy of Luke's private brown Luke Skywalker plane.
Yep.
Now, the only thing that stopped Luke was, once again, they saw him coming. Because he had a whole area that nobody wanted. Come on, rap, hip-hop in the South. Who the fuck wants Florida, Louisiana, Mississippi, Georgia, South Carolina, Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas? And Luke nobody want them bumpkin ass. And Luke would put out a tape and rule. And then the companies wanted in. Later on, that was the blueprint for who?
But it didn't come to New York.
Master P, right?
Yeah, later on, it was a blueprint for Master P.
Oh, yes, that's true. That's true. Yep.
Well, Luke got caught up with they came after him like, take the logo away, I think what's his name, George Lucas, and then was like, you can't use
he had to take away the Skywalker.
And I was like, oh fuck, and that type of shit happened, and then the law, and then the government, and all that other shit, and then that was an opportunity for Master P to come up in there, and still even Master P capitalized on all those territories nobody wanted, but by that time. Around Nori's 98, the companies was like,
Nori's 98. That's the name of my new album. If I ever make one.
In the 98.
In the 98.
Yo, man, companies tried to make what? Master P an offer because they realized that, yo, man, there's some gold in them Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Georgia, Alabama, Florida hills. And they tried to make him a deal, and Master P was doing so well. Remember you said like 500 ads in the Source?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. He had his own record stores on the West.
They tried to make a deal with him, and he was like, yo, man, what the fuck? You know, you got to come. And they said, you know what? We're gonna finance your competitor then. And that's when we started seeing Cash Money. They financed his competitor.
Shit getting real.
Wow.
And then surrounded it. You know, this is the same old, you know. And no disrespect to Cash Money, but that was the game that the majors would play to destroy black businesses.
That's right.
You know what's crazy? I'm going to be honest with you. I went to New Orleans around that time where Master P was the shit. And I wanted to do a record with a dude, I think his name was Skull Duggan. He eventually wound up being on Penalty Records.
Yeah.
And I remember me being in New Orleans and me identifying with the only other Puerto Rican person that was there. It was a girl, she had fronts on, and she was Puerto Rican. And I said, wait a minute. Well, I've never seen fronts at that time, because we, like New York, we had fronts, we didn't have what they have, whatever it was. Grill. That was a totally different, I was like, what is that in your mouth? Pause. And I remember this day so perfect. I said, I'm out there. I'm out here to meet with what I want to meet with No Limit. I want to, and I remember her saying to me, "We on that Cash Money right now," and I was like, "What?" And I kid you not, it wasn't on the radio. It was nothing. It was like how you just said. They funded a totally different shit.
It was a fade like this.
Yes.
You know, we went from you know.